hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Hey, what's up with it, family? It's Hot Boxing Minute, your favorite pharmaceutical engineer turned wannabe boxing analyst, back at you with the realness, of course, as only I can bring it on this lovely day. The big news hitting the wire right now, or actually the big perspective news, was what Eddie Hearn dropped. Actually, it's via Mike Coppinger, what he says his sources were telling him about Eddie Hearn. Amanda Serrano, and Katie Taylor are this close apparently to finally signing that contract for that all-woman super fight, the one boxing has been desperately needing. We've been talking about it for a while. Will we ever see the 7-division boxing champion, the Puerto Rican star / American star Amanda Serrano, fight the fighting pride of Ireland, Katie Taylor? Katie Taylor, who of course is considered one of the top pound-for-pound women fighters in the world, along with Amanda Serrano. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to even think about it. When I think back about the high success level in MMA that Ronda Rousey had a few years ago when she was breaking that glass ceiling for women in combat sports and making all that money, it was always a trip to watch as it unfolded because there really wasn't any kind of depth of talent in MMA for Ronda Rousey to really fight. She was mowing through her opponents. Now, it's a whole different situation today. There's obviously a huge depth of talent, fighters coming from China, fighters coming from Brazil, and obviously we've got our fighters here stateside. But as far as boxing, for some reason, boxing fell behind MMA a little bit, but it looks like we're at the point now, thanks to Jake Paul, strangely enough of all people. Jake Paul with Eddie Hearn, of course, working hand in hand, we might actually see that glass ceiling for women's boxing shatter. Now, Miriam Gutierrez is the one mutual opponent between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Now, if you saw Katie Taylor's last performance against Firuza Sharapova, she went the whole distance, and we saw it in typical Katie Taylor fashion. It went the entire duration of the fight, Katie Taylor doing her thing, throwing volume punching, almost with an amateurish type of style. That's what Katie Taylor does. She throws punches in bunches, technically sound, very much a throwback or a reminiscent of what you would see of a high-level amateur. Doesn't matter, it's made her one of the most dominant forces in women's boxing. Then, of course, there's Amanda Serrano, missed 30-plus knockouts, who's just electrifying the game. And now that she has Jake Paul behind her, has gotten a huge public push with the American audiences. Now, she fought Miriam Gutierrez, the same common opponent that they had with Katie Taylor, and she pieced up Miriam Gutierrez. The fight went the whole distance, but Miriam Gutierrez's face after the fight was looking very lumpy, very much elephant manish. So I'm looking forward to seeing this fight. They're talking about Madison Square Garden on April 30th, and I'm just simply gassed about this fight. I want to see this fight happen. This fight needs to happen. It's great for boxing. There is a huge talent pool right now in boxing of top women fighters. Amongst them, at the top preeminence of it, of course, we got Amanda Serrano, we've got Katie Taylor, we've got Clarissa Shields, we've got other fighters also as well that are making a lot of name for themselves in the public domain as far as general public perception, even outside of boxing. You've got Michaela Mayer, the former Olympian. You've got Alicia Baumgardner, who had that crazy knockout of Terry Harper. You've got Sinisa Estrada, super bad. You've got her arch rival in her smaller weight division in Marlon Esparza, so that could be a potential super fight. Of course, you've got the GOAT, Clarissa Shields, the 2-time gold medalist, undisputed in 2 different weight divisions. She could potentially get that super fight with her and Savannah Marshall. There's so many potential super fights involving these women that could potentially blow the doors open and explode that glass ceiling for women in boxing going into this brand new year of 2022. I'm excited about that. How do y'all folks feel out there? I want to do a temperature check. Are y'all as excited as I am to see a potential super fight between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor at Madison Square Garden, potentially on April 30th, according to the rumors that Mike Coppinger started out there on Twitter? Let me know in the comment section what you think about all that, folks. Hit follow if you haven't already done so. Hit that like button. Yeah. You're watching Hot Boxing Minute, y'all, the future of boxing analysis on YouTube.